Hello everyone, welcome back. How you doing? I hope you're all doing really well today. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for Moshville Times and Lamgoat, and I'm back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And I have 5 brand new albums that I want to talk about this week, and I really hope you like your death metal because the vast majority of them are death metal. But before we begin, make sure to check out the description box below where you will find a Spotify playlist which features every single album that I talk about on my New Metal Monday videos. So if you use Spotify, make sure to follow that because I update that every single Monday when one of these videos goes live. But if you don't use Spotify, I have also included the band's Bandcamp links or their YouTube channels, just so you can find the music that I'm talking about as easily as possible. But like I said, 5 brand new albums that I want to talk about this week, and I'm just going to jump straight in. Okay, so the very first album that I want to talk about this week is Ancient Death with Ego Disillusion. And this is the debut album from the US death metal band. Now, the very first thing that I thought of when I looked at this album artwork was Obituary. And I did get huge Obituary vibes from the sound as well. But not only that, it's very cosmic and mysterious old school death metal. So basically, if you take old school death metal with almost like a creepy H.P. Lovecraftian nightmarish vibe, this is what you get. Now, they aren't really based on Lovecraft at all, that's just the image that I generated when I was listening to this album. And can I just say that this is an absolute rager. And when I say it's a rager, it's incredibly heavy. But what I really like about it is they really focus on the layers and the composition of the tracks rather than the speed or the brutal heaviness. Now, don't get me wrong, it does have its moments where it is incredibly fast and incredibly brutal throughout, but it's the layers and the composition of this album that I really enjoyed the most. It is guttural vocals primarily throughout the entire record, but the thing that really stood out to me the most was the use of the occasional female vocals. They're very light, echoey and ethereal. They're almost extraterrestrial, and it does create this fantastic contrast, especially next to the guttural growls and the brutal death metal elements. Now, there's a lot of atmosphere in this record. It does have a very creepy, ominous vibe about it, but there's no keyboards and no synths. That atmosphere is generated by the combination of the distorted guitars and those light, extraterrestrial female vocals. It's an absolutely fantastic record with an underpinning of really harsh, heavy groove. But you can expect a lot of really cool chugging riffs, blast beats for ages, screaming solos, and the bass lines are incredibly dense. So if you are a fan of the likes of Obituary, Bolt Thrower, Frozen Soul, that kind of creepy, kind of ominous old school death metal sound, this one is definitely for you. But I absolutely loved this. This is a fantastic debut. If you like your death metal, do not sleep on this one. Okay, so next up I have Crips of Despair with We Belong in the Grave. And this is the 3rd studio album from the Lithuanian death metal band. This album is angry. It is incredibly aggressive and evil sounding. From the very first note, it's just pure evil and devastatingly crushing. The breakdowns in this record are unbelievable. The guitar solos are immense. Chugging bass lines, really intricate riffs, blast beats that just seem to go on forever. This is an absolutely devastating death metal record. It's angry, it's explosive, it's incredibly aggressive. The guttural growls on this are beyond demonic. They are ridiculous. The power and the energy behind the vocal style is incredible. This is an incredibly powerful album, but there's enough groove to keep you interested, but it does really focus on that skull-smashing death metal style. So if you are a fan of the likes of Replicant, Ulcerate, Suffocation, this one is definitely for you. Plus, it was the album artwork that really drew me into this record as well. There is something really ominous and ritualistic about this record that really entices you. Definitely check this one out. Loved this album. Don't sleep on this one either. Okay, so next up I have Dormant Ordeal with Tooth and Nail, and this is the 4th studio album from the Polish blackened death metal band. Now, when I say that I absolutely loved this record, I mean it. I don't usually do favourites of the week or anything like that because The albums that I recommend on a weekly basis, I love in equal measure, but there's something about this album that makes me come back to it over and over again. It is stunning. This is an incredible, crushing death metal record with a lot of black metal elements and really aggressive melodics. This is another guitar-driven record, so you can expect a lot of frantic riffs, intricate solos. The blast beats in this are immense, they are endless, and really cool chugging bass lines. This album has a story to tell and it really does hook you in, and it deserves a lot of time and attention, and I can't help but listen to this over and over again. So if you are a fan of the likes of Disparaged, Paganizer, Brazen Tongue, or Sulphur Aeon, this one is definitely for you, but I absolutely loved this record. I cannot stop listening to it, and I really hope that you guys love it too. Okay, so next up, I'm coming away from the death metal side of things, and I have Varnheim with Void. And this is the third studio album from the Polish black metal band. Now, this album is only 4 tracks long, but it spans 42 minutes, so you can expect it to be a sprawling soundscape of really intense tremolo picking, blistering blast beats, venomous screams and growls, and really harsh, dense melodics. This is a deeply immersive, unrelenting album that twists and turns and you have no idea what way it's going to go, but when it twists and turns, it just hooks you in more and more, and those melodics are highly addictive, but incredibly harsh. There's something very brooding and bleak about this record. It's a very cold, icy black metal album, but it has just enough melodics to keep you interested. The first thing that I thought of when I was listening to this record was how majestic and brooding it was, but there's no pomp and pageantry in this. It's a very guitar-driven black metal record this time round, and the atmosphere is generated by the guitars. So if you are a fan of the likes of Owada, Migwa, or Groza, this one is definitely for you, but I love my bleak, really melancholic but densely melodic black metal that has a bit of a cold edge to it. This one is exactly it, and I loved it. Definitely check it out. Okay, so last up on my list, but certainly by no means least, I have Tribunal with Penitence in Ruin. This is the second studio album from the Canadian orchestral doom gothic metal band. This is grandiose, opulent, majestic, and it has a very massive muscular presence about it, but the orchestration is stunning. It's an incredibly dark, doomy, brooding record with those guttural growls that sound like they're coming from the depths of hell itself. But when the vocals from the females come into play here, there's something very melancholic and forlorn about it. They are very agonizing, but they're very beautiful at the same time. There's a lot of cello and keyboards throughout this, which makes it an incredibly dark, atmospheric and haunting record, but the guitars and the drums are just as captivating. The first thing that really popped into my head when I was listening to this record was it's almost like a siren call that hooks you in and then drowns you completely. When you listen to this album, you get lost entirely in it, and it's just an absolutely fantastically immersive doom gothic metal album. So if you are a fan of the likes of Pallbearer, My Dying Bride, Draconian, or Tribulation, this one is definitely for you. I loved their debut, so when I saw that they were releasing another album so quickly, I was all over it, was not disappointed. Dripping in gothy, doomy opulence with a massive metal edge, this is a fantastically mesmerising, melancholic album. Definitely check it out. Plus that album artwork is stunning as well. And that's it for this week's New Metal Monday. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records. And if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will definitely get them added to my list. What I am going to start doing is when there has been an album that I've missed or you've recommended to me that I really, really love, I'm going to upload a YouTube short just to talk about that very, very quickly. So keep an eye out for those. Make sure to follow me on my social media platforms. They are all included in the description box below as well, where I am a lot more active. Thank you all so much for your support. As always, it means the world to me. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you very soon in my next video.